Boom. All right. Well, welcome everyone. Good evening and welcome to Real Talk 100. My name is Joyce Spencer Mintz, and we are coming to you all live wherever you are. We are streaming. Please tune in. Uh-oh. I want to welcome my co-host guest tonight, um, Mr. Armand. Hello.
Hey Granny, how you doing?
Awesome. Awesome. Loving your background.
Oh yeah, nice little T-Mobile map.
Absolutely awesome. So we want to thank you all for joining us tonight. We're waiting on a few of our other guests to come in. As usual, we give the disclaimer. You have the right to agree or disagree with anything that we say here tonight. We're still going to love you. So, this is called Real Talk 100, and here we keep it real. I'm hoping that my camera and lighting will stay effectively correct tonight. I do see a few things going on in the background, but bear with us. It will not stop us from presenting this live show. So, while we're waiting on our guests to come in, you guys go ahead, go over there, send up the hearts, the likes, the shares. Be sure to like and subscribe on our YouTube page, Joyce's Journeys. You can also send up stars there to keep the podcast going. We want to make sure you support. We also have a nonprofit that we also stream to. And we'd like it very much if you can keep watching the banners below, and there will be different ways for you to be able to contribute to each organization. And we thank you right now for joining us. Um, I'm going to make sure I put the banners up. Okay. Um, Also, to my co-host tonight, who's walking around a little bit, I'm gonna probably have to have him
Just a little bit, just a little bit.
bring his screen in a little bit, guys. I need to get our other guests here online, and I'm hoping I copied the link to them. But in the meantime, I want to just say thank you. And while we're sitting here, I sent out a midweek inspiration, and I hope everybody got a chance to get it. Um, it was actually on Thursday that I sent out a live, and I hope it was very much received and appreciated. Know that it was sent in love, and I hope that everyone had a chance to listen to it. If not, go back and do the replay. We're talking about being do-gooders, and so definitely want you to be able to chime in on that chat and give your input. We receive all comments. We don't take it personally. I mean, because you have the right to your own opinion, and what you think is what you think. So we really appreciate you coming into this broadcast tonight. And I'm actually trying to invite a new guest tonight. Hopefully they will chime in as well. Um, so
Hey Granny,
yeah, yes,
are you? Oh, okay. I was gonna say your mic was. I mean, your camera was frozen, but I think you left the like screen or something like that.
yeah, I did. I did. I left the screen for a minute so I could go back in and invite the guests that were supposed to appear. So sometimes you'll see that happening. It's because I'm doing some other stuff behind the screen. I don't have all that fabulous broadcasting equipment and people fluffing me up and doing things for me. So I have to try to work this to the best of my ability. But even while doing that, it's still awesome. Um, I just love the way it just turns out, and to God be all the glory for that, because I just feel like I don't know what I'm doing. But what I do know is that I enjoy bringing this conversation and bringing it to people live so that you are able to not only be better, but hopefully desire to do better. So, with that being said, our subject tonight, what we do for love. And a couple of the ladies were trying to cheat. They wanted a preview first. And I don't like to give a preview because I like to just bring it right to the forefront so that when the topic comes up, you already begin to think. Okay, your thought process starts moving fast, and there's no way to rehearse it. So I did a little trial run on my husband, and it was funny because I'm still waiting on some answers. He's still pondering on that thing. So it tells me that it must have been great food for thought, and by the night he should be able to tell me an answer. Okay. So anyway, I'm looking and I'm hoping we're streaming from the right directions. And our guests hopefully will get the link. Okay, guys. But anyway, Armand,
Yes, ma'am.
with you, because I did call upon you and for our second topic tonight, and nothing had come across the board or to mind. So, did you have a second topic tonight before we get into what we do for love?
Um, Let me think. Um, I don't think I do. I don't think I do, unfortunately.
Okay, well, let's just go right ahead and let's get started with this. Um, and I'm still looking and I'm looking and I'm thinking I did something. I think I did something on the broadcast where we are only broadcasting live from two of my streams, and um yeah, I kind of took one out. I see. Hmm. Okay, there we go. All right, think we're in there. And I just froze my screen again, and I'm almost certain of that. So I'm back.
Well,
Okay.
go back.
So I think because I I think when I sent out the stream, it didn't go out to on the right connection for the guests, but it's okay. Let's talk about this thing. What we do for love. I was thinking about that and how oftentimes, even in relationships, families, marriages. Oh, okay, sweetheart. Have an awesome night. um, we think about what we do for love. So, Armand, as a young person, um, when we say love, first and foremost, there's so many different aspects of love in different arenas. We love our children, we love our parents, we love our friends, you know. So when I say what we do for love, what was the first thing that came to your mind?
Um, as in like a group thing. Like when I think about love, like who do I think about first, type thing.
Mhm. What first
I
came to
guess
your mind when I said what we do for love?
honestly, when you said what we do for love, the first thing that I thought about, based off of love, was like unconditional love. Um, I feel like what love is such a broad term that, like you said, there's so many ways, so many people that we do love in our life. I'm not saying that, we love anybody less or anybody more, but we all love those different groups of people, different types of people in different ways. Um, for example, the way that you love your friends may not be the way that you love your significant other. Um, they may get the same love from you, like in your heart, but the way that you show it and the things along those lines would be different, I would presume. So when you bring up love, I just automatically think of unconditional love because a lot of people, they want to have that person or, be able to experience the thought of unconditional love, and sometimes some people are unfortunate by that being very hard to come by because I feel like love it can be unconditional, but 9 times out of 10, that does have underlying conditions.
All right. So we're gonna get to that part too. So per se, I hear people say a lot. Well, I can do without love. I don't really have to have love. I'm okay. Um, or I don't have a need for love. I don't have a need to fall in love. Have you ever heard people say that? Um, maybe
Hon-
been around some people that felt that way.
Honestly, I haven't been around people that feel that way, but I've have heard of that ideology before. People that feel like they don't need love or anything like that. Honestly, it's kind of scary when I hear about people that say stuff like that or think in that manner, because normally, like, they probably been through a lot of stuff where they probably didn't receive love as they felt like they should. So, it can be love can be very overrated to them. And maybe it may not be the fact that it's overrated, but it might be this mindset that they made for themselves, since they don't really get to experience love, or they feel like they don't experience love in any type of way, shape, or form, that the only way they feel like they can survive is if they pretty much demean the term of love and what it actually means, and how they don't really need it at all.
Absolutely, and I'm glad that you touched on that right there. Um, that is one of the points that I really wanted to address tonight. How people the conditions that they do put on others when it comes to love, be it in a relationship, be it in family, be it in spouse, whatever. Um, you find that when someone says they love you, oftentimes it has a catch, something attached to it. Well, I love you if you do this. I love you if you do that. Um, a lot of times people get married um, for what they think, or in or date people and say, well, we're in love because they can provide this or they can provide that, and they base the measure of love on material things. And one of those things that I really wanted to address tonight was that when it comes to love, you first have to learn how to love yourself. And you can't give something that you don't have in you. And so oftentimes the perception that people have about love, like you said, ideology of what love is. Now, we know there is a perfect love which Christ has given to all of us, which is unconditional. He didn't put any conditions on dying on the cross for us. That's unconditional love right there. When we love people, we should practice mimicking that, because then disappointment comes when you have a measuring stick on what love is for you from someone else. We know that love should not we that it shouldn't physically be hurting you. Um, but is that love? Some people think that physical abuse is love. It's the way that somebody showed them love. And it's the only kind of love that they understand. Some people think that buying them things, that's the measure of love. If he buys me this or she buys me this all the time, taking care of my personal needs, that's a measure of love. Physical love, is there a need for it? Because I hear people often say who are single, well, I don't really need love. I can just be with somebody and we ain't got to be all up in love. you know, it's kind of a two-sided coin for people. And so I just really wanted to get our panels opinion tonight, and I don't know where our other guests are. They might be tied up unless I sent the wrong link out. But I really wanted to get their opinion tonight, and feedback on this. And don't worry, it's okay because we can do the replay, will be there for people to watch. But when it comes to love, from an older point of view, now I want to know from the younger point of view first. I know you spoke about unconditional love. Um, what about people who say I can do without love? What's your opinion on that?
My opinion on people that say that they can do without love, um, I guess when it comes to people that say stuff like that, um, the only way that I can, I guess, wrap my head around someone saying something like that is maybe they can't necessarily do without love. Some people, they are fine with being with somebody, whether it's love or not. um, the issue comes in when there's a title, and I feel like sometimes with those titles, that brings on a whole extra load of problems for them, and it kind of brings some type of responsibility and sometimes even self accountability, because there's people that will say that they can do without love just simply for the fact that, one, they're scared of what love really actually is, and they feel like either, one, they can't really hold themselves up to par with what they feel like needs or deserves love in that sense. And then the other part of that is, I guess they just really don't want to, I guess, have that, what's the word I'm looking for? I can't think of it, but like pretty much like
Hmm.
when it comes to them, wanting not wanting love, I don't think it's that they don't want love. I think they just don't want all the problems that stems from it. Because when you say love, especially in today's generation, from my point of view and everything, like when you bring up love, or once love enters the picture, like that's a whole different ball game to just me and her go together, or me and him go together. Like it's a whole different thing. Like once love comes in, now what you do pretty much doesn't just affect you. And I think that's another problem. I think that's another thing some people have a problem with, that they want to experience that love, but yet they don't want to have the self accountability to understand that you say that you love this person. Well, is one, the way you're showing it, is that like being communicated properly to the person that you say you love, and is the decisions that you're making also cool with the person that you say that you love? Like I feel like it's so much responsibility, and people don't want to have that second thought, like is the person that I say I love, would they be okay with this? So I feel like when they say they can do it out love, they just don't want all that extra stuff that comes with it. They can do with it just at face value, but they don't want to go into the actual deep roots of what love really comes from and what it really means.
Awesome. I think you are correct on a lot of things that you said. The accountability part, because love does come. Some point there's accountability when you're in a relationship with someone, and it's past that. I like you. You my girlfriend. You my boyfriend. Um, you know, a lot of times people are real quick to, even in the first date or second date, to start talking about I love you, and not knowing how powerful that four-letter word is.
Hmm.
Um, love is very strong. It's a strong word, and we most definitely we should love one another, as Christ has loved us. But we also should also understand what comes with the word love. What are you willing to sacrifice when you say you love somebody? What are you willing to give or receive? Because sometimes it's not pleasant. Um, long-term marriages that are together, people who have been married for a long time, every day has not been a sunny day, you know, but it's the love for each other that keeps them together. And sometimes it actually might be the lack thereof. But just the stubbornness that, well, we here and nobody's going, we're not going anywhere. So I've often heard that. Now that's a whole nother real talk, because it's really been something that I really want to talk about. When people stay together and there is no love. Um, there we go with, when we say love, do we count it as just physical, um, or psychological? Because when you're in marriages and people are not expressing what some consider love. Well, I could just, like, I don't know, burn up my husband's toast every morning and he could think I love him because I do that. You know?
Yeah.
So so it really does come down to what people consider love, and what level or underlying, as you say, underlying conditions that they have on your love. Are you accountable when you tell somebody you love them? Are you truly, truly feeling that in your heart, that, and it's not just something you just saying just because everybody else says it? you know, um, because some people on another level, love means a lot more to them than just those four-letter words. It's an action word, not only, you know, it's not just saying it, and you have to put some action behind it. And so I know my camera's like going in and out. Y'all see that going on. But it's important that, when you are with someone and you two are dating or married or whatever, you're doing together. Not only that, with family members as well. Um, the love that you show to people, it should be unconditional. Just should not be strings attached to your love. I'm gonna love you if you act like this. I'm gonna love you if you do this for me. People would love to, and I'm gonna speak for me. I love unconditional love, and I try to love unconditionally. I'm not gonna not love you tomorrow because you didn't do something that I wanted you to do today. Love shouldn't change with the wind. Okay. um excuse me. It shouldn't be tossed like the waves of the sea. So you should be careful when you are telling people that you love them, that you truly mean it, because sooner or later you might be tested on that. What do you say?
I say I say with the word love, um
Hmm.
you should absolutely be careful when you do use that word, because like you said, it does mean more to some people than it would mean to another person. I feel like
Hmm.
love is really such a, like I said at the beginning, it's such a broad term and it's so subjective that, you know, you can, like, it's to the point where, you can love somebody, but you can also, have love for somebody. Like, it's so many different ways that love can be um, interpreted, that it's such a broad term. And if you're not careful with how you're using it, especially in relationships and things along those lines, like, you can find yourself um, in a predicament where, you may say love means one thing, but another person or the person that you're with may say the other thing. And, that's when it comes down to those values. And that's why values are so important in relationships. Because if y'all don't have the same values, if y'all can't even value on what love really is, I feel like that's pretty, like, a pretty solid foundation block that has to be in a relationship. Do you guys at least have the same idea, the same agenda on what the word love revolves around? Because some people are willing to do more, and then some people are willing to do less. And say if that was an instance, the person who they may both love each other, but the person that feels like they're loving more is going to feel more burnt out, and then the person that is doing less, not because they both don't love each other, but because they don't have the same ideology on what the word love means and what that exactly brings to the table. So that's how you end up in these situations where maybe one person in a relationship may say, I love you, and then the other person may be not comfortable with saying that at the same time. They may have love for
Mm-hmm.
them, or they may care about them, but they're just not exactly ready to bring out that love word. And I feel like that should be respected as well. Just because someone says that they love you doesn't mean that you have to say it back, because it has different values to each and every person. Like, if you were to ask 10 people what love is, I guarantee you would probably get at least nine different answers. At least nine, because, that's just how love is in general. It's such a broad term that it means something different to everybody.
Absolutely, absolutely. And now, would you say with younger people, do you see in relationships with maybe some of your co-friends, your friends, associates, do you find that young people are being more committed in relationships, or are they more in friendship love?
Um, I would say probably it's a mixture of both. It's probably a mixture of both. Like, you have your people that are, committed. They have their ideas on what love is, and they're totally fine with that. They got whatever they got going on in their relationship, like, it's all fine and good. But then on the same side of the
Hmm.
coin, you have, some people who, they say they love somebody, but it's more of a, like, high school crush, playground, and elementary school type of love. Like, it's that type of thing. And especially with the culture now revolving around my age, with sneaky links becoming a thing. That's a whole different subject.
Oh, what's sneaky links?
Um, um, I'm trying to find a good way to explain this. Um,
Oh.
like, sneaky link. Sneaky link is pretty much like with somebody. It's two people who, they get together and they want to, like. It's not like a hookup. I mean, it is like,
Mm-hmm.
but it has like a different layer to it. I can't explain it. It's just it's some
Oh.
like,
Oh.
yeah. But
Oh.
with sneaky link culture being so popular, even heavily induced in the music that we listen to today, all the big hits, everybody talking about sneaky link this, sneaky link that. The term
Mm-hmm.
love is really undervalued, and it's to the point where now, like, um you don't really hear too much about love, especially if you're listening to music, because R&B and things along those lines that may dive deeper into those avenues of what love actually is, or what that may
Mm-hmm.
them. That's not really as big of a genre as it used to be, maybe in times before our generation came along. So I feel like most people, with them not exactly knowing what love is, I don't think that's necessarily their fault. Um, because they haven't really, I guess, have been properly been showed on what love really is, and all they see in it
Mm-hmm.
is, sneaky link this, um, hook up this, hook up that, all that type of stuff. So I just feel like it's two
So
sides. It's two sides to each story. So
mm-hmm.
just like with our generation, what I was saying, you had the people that, that they really know what love is. I have plenty of friends that are in very good relationships. They've been together for years. They got kids. I got a friend who's
Mm-hmm.
third baby at 23. So, but he's in this
Whoa.
relationship. He's having fun. He's enjoying himself. Really happy for him. But then again, I know there's plenty of people that just have no interest in, I guess, one, being in love, or two, like, even going down that avenue because of the risk that it may run for them in the long run. Because
Mm-hmm.
we all know love is a very dangerous game, and it can either help you or hurt you. So I think some people feel like that trade off isn't really worth it, and the chances aren't really in their favor. So they just rather,
Mm-hmm.
have that person, or persons to be there for them whenever they, want to feel that level of intimacy and not have any strings attached.
Oh, okay. So I get it.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
get it.
I
I
taught
get
you
it. So the
taught you a new
sneaky link.
term.
So the sneaky link part, you just taught me something new.
Yeah,
See, every day y'all can learn something new.
yeah, I taught you a little new term. Granny. Well, I guess I'll take over from here. Um, where did my granny go? She done left me in front of all these people.
I'm a guest and everything. Okay.
Welcome back.
All right. There you are. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. I was having a moment and I'm glad to be back. Okay.
I was prepared to take
Um,
over.
I'm glad you just go ahead and feel free to rock it. Okay. Yeah, I had left out something, and that's why the guests didn't come in. I had a link to where they usually come in at. So, so sorry about that tonight. But you just taught me something when you were talking about sneaky links. Um, you know, and I guess um, it's not just young people in there. I know there's older people too. Hmm. And and I guess just the hookup stuff, because I see like on that meet, they got that meet something, uh, and the social dating sites, and some of those folks been on there for 10 or 20 years, just dating around the world. um, Never really fully intending to commit, just let's date,
Yeah,
Um, so I get it. And I guess that's where the avenue we talk about where no love is involved. I don't, they don't really want to be committed or accountable or be accountable in a relationship. So they want to just let's just roll like this, so we don't have to have any responsibility on of each other. Because I think when it comes to love, not only do you become responsible for yourself, but you do become responsible for the other person, how you make them feel. When you are when you're committed and you in a love relationship with someone, you're responsible about how you make them feel.
hmm
Most definitely. I don't think it's personal. What do you say?
I say you are responsible because honestly, how could you say that you love somebody if you don't really care about how they feel? Um, like even when it comes down to my friends, I got love for my friends. If they not doing good, then I'm feeling some type of way because they're not doing good, and now I feel like part of me, I gotta help them make them feel better, or if there's a problem that's got them down or got them irritated, I feel like I have to be there, or I should be there per se, to at least be, I guess, a second brain for them to help them think about something maybe they never thought about. But I feel like you can't say that you love somebody if you don't care about how they feel, their happiness, and things along those lines. I feel like love and I feel like empathy runs with love. And if you love somebody, then that empathy is just going to be there regardless. You can't say that you love somebody and not really care about how they feel at the end of the day, in my opinion.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I agree with you on that. Um, and also I also wanted to say, too, sometimes we paint a picture of what love should look like,
hmm
but love is an experience. And reason why I say that, um, and I'm gonna definitely ask your opinion about it. When I say love is an experience, because it doesn't just come because you say the word. Um, you actually have to, like I said, it's an action. And when you experience love, um, it's going to depend on how you perceive love. A lot of times, people say they want to experience love, but it's only physical love. And understand that it's so much more than that. So, I've been trying not to really have to go all the way across the line tonight where I really want to go because it's a real talk and we always keep it real. But I do want to say that just because you in a physical relationship with someone and they make you feel all wonderful inside every time you roll it around in the hay, yeah, I can say that because this is my grandson and we keep it real, and he's over the age of 21, so he clearly knows about sex. Okay,
Amen.
so I'm gonna say that just because someone makes you feel good physically, it doesn't constitute a genuine love. If that's the way you perceive love, then as soon as that goes away and you can't find it somewhere else, you have a difficulty finding love with anyone else. That's when you put conditions on, you know, what love is. I found in some situations that there are women in relationships, and then when the relationship break up, and not just women but men too, when you experience a relationship with somebody and then that relationship end, well, you're continuing to find someone who measured up to what that person was doing, because they made you feel real good, and now if the other person doesn't come in and give you the same amount of what you perceive as love in the physical sense, then you just dismiss it because you'll continue to search and search and search.
Hmm.
And love comes in so many different forms and fashion. Um, it's going to be about your perception of it and what you want to do with it. Um, Armand, you want to say something?
Um, I mean, in
Physical
regard,
love.
yeah, there's definitely people, male and female, that do when they say that they experience love, it's most definitely in the physical sense, and I get it. You know, I definitely understand, but what you got to understand is with like love, it's not just a physical thing. Like you can love somebody physically, but you can really like not connect with them emotionally. And I feel like love, love in that sense, it's a physical, emotional, like it's like all of the elements of life just dancing all together. Like if you love somebody physically because what they can do for you or how they make you feel, like my grandmother said, while you rolling in the hay, that's great. But at the end of the day, when that goes away, like what else do you have? Like what else do you have? Like I feel like when you say that you love somebody, you should love them. I guess physically is part of it because rolling in the hay is definitely a big part of a relationship. So I
Hmm.
understand that part, but do you love the person that you're with emotionally? Like can you stand the things that they do? Like that's why half of the time relationships, when they go to the next level, when they go to that move in part, that's where most of them fail
Hmm.
because they failed to really get to know the person that they said that they love, that they couldn't wait to move in with, this, that, and the third. But now you there with them, and now you find out you can't stand them, but you still want that physical part because the physical part is amazing. But you fail to realize you never had that emotional bond to begin with. And I'm not saying that people just out here rolling in the hay with everybody, without the conversation, nothing like that. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is
Hmm.
the person that you're rolling in the hay with, that you say that you love so much, do you really know them? Do you know their habits? Do you know how they will react in a certain situation if they were put in it? Like, can does the things that he or she does it get on your nerve, but you'll still sit there and stand for it? That's love right there. Ain't nobody perfect. But if that person can do your pet peeve, and I'm not saying you don't have the rights to get mad because everybody got their pet peeves that really pushes them to the next level. But do you sit up there and now you look at them different because they're doing your pet peeve, or does your feelings for them still feel the same? And you feel like you can tolerate it? Um, to a certain extent, of course, because I feel like if you bring your pet peeves to the table, it should be respected. Everybody slip up sometimes, but it shouldn't be like a repeated thing. That's where communication comes in.
Hmm.
A whole different subject. But yeah, I just feel like a lot of people, they may be in love physically, but yet not in tune with the person that they love emotionally. And it's just as important as the physical part is. is just as important as the emotional part is. And I argue that emotional love is more important than physical love in itself.
And you're absolutely right. And you won't have to argue that with me, but maybe with others. Um, and the reason why I find that more to be true because you have to understand too. Like even when people get married and they're even when they're dating or married or whatever the situation is, um, at some point in time, the physical part wears out. Some point in time, you either get older or or perhaps one of you gets sick or some changes happen where, like you said, the physical part is not there. Um, it's more so that part, when I see people get married and get divorced so quick, um, the physical part not being there anymore. Is that really the only reason you were there? Because once they can't do that, rolling in hay, you out. One of my one thing that I experienced in my life was that knowing that it was so much more, as you said, to know somebody emotionally and know where you stand at spiritually. And I'm not saying you're going to be on the same level, but for me, I'm going to say that it was important for me. At first, I was trying to find somebody who, I really didn't want to date nobody who didn't love the Lord. They weren't reading the Bible every day like I was, you know. Um, but then I had to really open up my eyes, and God had to really make me realize that when He talks about being unequally yoked, it doesn't mean that um, you're gonna find somebody who's doing everything that you like to do because you might as well just be with yourself.
Hmm.
So what I found out was that the person in my life, I'm gonna say for me, because and take this whichever way audience that you want, and I hope it helps you. But the man in my life, I thank God for because he balances me. Um, I was short fused. He's very patient. Um, I'm in a hurry. He's just walking slow. He teaches and brings awareness to me of my shortcomings, where I fall short. But he doesn't say it out loud. He just balances it out physically. And that means more to me than anything else. Um, and the fact that he loves me very dearly. And he shows that. And I reciprocate that to him as well. But what I really do appreciate is that we found each other mentally and spiritually first. And I'm so grateful for that because it makes our marriage just run so smoothly. When that God put you in the right place and with the right person, it's not sorrow. It's not, it doesn't add sorrow. There's never a day I regret getting married to my husband. I just love when we wake up together and be able to greet the Son and the Lord and all the good things that He has provided for us. And I hope that for other people out here who are having struggles with trying to either find that right someone in your life, stop looking for somebody who do everything like you do because you might as well just be to yourself. If you love someone, you love them unconditionally, and you just definitely can't base it on the physical because these bodies, things happen and they change. It's physical, and that fades away. But the one thing that continues as long as your heartbeat is your mental state and your heart. So you have to love from your heart, and the rest is bonus. So I say, if you are looking for that special someone, meet them in the mind first. See if they match up with you mentally first, before you even put the physical in action, because the physical can cloud your judgment on everything else. And you'll be thinking just because he good in the bed or she good in the bed, this is love. But somewhere down the line, that part is going to fade. And what else do you have to lean on? See, we could sit on the couch and watch Gunsmoke, hold hands, and I'm good. Make some toast, eat some popcorn, and we just be laughing at each other, and we good. Okay. But I just say that when it comes to relationships, and I always tell, even talking with my grandson, I always hope and pray for them to let the physical happen last. You need to know where that person is spiritually. You need to know where they are emotionally, because if they way up here emotionally and you medium, it's gonna be hard to try to bring them down or them to bring you up. So, and if you don't desire to be way on 10 all the time, it's very unequally yoked.
Mhm.
Okay. So that's so important. So I'm gonna let you add to this before, because we got like 10 minutes before we got about three before we chime out.
Yeah, I do got to
No, we
close
got
up.
about, yeah, we got about 10. We got about 10 minutes before we chime out. So go ahead. You want to add anything else to this podcast tonight?
I was just gonna popcorn off of what you were saying. Um, I feel like um, I feel like the reason why the term opposites attract exists is for a reason, simply because at least me personally, I'm very calm. I'm very um, I'm very calm. I'm very, very patient, and I don't really talk a lot and stuff like that. But I can't deny the fact that um, most of the time I do find myself being attracted to women that love to talk. They love to talk, and I just love to listen. Like, I'll sit there and listen to you talk about nothing all day. It doesn't matter to me. Like, what you want to talk about? How many shades of purple there is? Okay, teach me. Okay, but I feel like the term opposites attract simply does exist for a reason. If, like you were saying, if you want to find somebody that acts just like you might as well be with yourself. Not to mention, you might want to be careful what you wish for, because you might find out that you get on your own nerves. So,
Absolutely.
unless you really want to know the answer to that question, if you can really stand yourself, I would steer clear from that. But you need that balance, the yin and yang, all of that stuff. Like, because if you both, like, I'm not saying y'all can't have the same music taste, or maybe have some of the same hobbies, but if y'all got everything the same all down the line, like, you have that person there, they can't show you nothing new. Like, it's not going to be any substance. It's going to burn out quick. That's why I feel like
Yeah.
you need those differences between each other. Okay, um, you you don't like to go outside. Maybe you need somebody that can take you outside. Like, maybe that's what you need. Somebody that's gonna force you to get out the house every month to at least do something. I feel like that's very,
Yeah.
very important. But yeah, I feel like when it comes down to everything at the end of the day, I feel like the physical part of love really does, it does hold weight in a relationship. I will not deny that it does hold weight. But I feel
Hmm.
like some people let that one check mark just ignore all the other excess, all the red flags, all of that other stuff. Like, just because that's good, that may be 100%, doesn't mean like you can just bypass everything else, because at the end of the day, if you do love that person and y'all want to grow old together, this that, and the third, when that part goes away, you got nothing, and now you just sitting here with some dude or some girl that you realize you barely don't even know, you really don't like that, and you really can't stand them. So I just feel like people need to be wary and cautious of who they say they love, and understand that just because you say you love somebody, you have to understand that when you say that, you love them for who they are, what they do, how they make you feel physically and emotionally, and everything else. And yeah, that's pretty much all I got to say about that.
Absolutely. Well, I want to thank you so much for that, because you said a mouthful, and everything you said tonight, we hope our viewers will take with them. Please do. Any information we provide, we always hope that it will not only help you to be better, but do better. We want you not to forget to follow and like and subscribe. Follow us on YouTube. Like and subscribe on Joyce's Journey. Also, Armand, go ahead and throw out your YouTube.
Oh, I make gaming content every now and again. I make gaming commentary. So if you like video games, if you like hearing what people got to say, not necessarily about video games, I'll talk about everyday life things. All different type of stuff. My channel is very. It has a large variety, but you can find me on TikTok at Shady Y2K. That's Shady with two Y's and then Y2K. And you can also find me on YouTube as well at Shady Y2K. That's Shady with two Y's once again and then Y2K. I'm on the road on YouTube trying to hit 50 subscribers, and I'm on the road on TikTok to try to hit 1,000. So if anybody can come check me out, I greatly appreciate it. Thank you.
Awesome. So you heard from a wonderful, awesome young man. I'm not just saying that because he's my grandson, but I love him. He's very wise. And as you can tell from these conversations, he definitely has a lot of input. So go on over there and follow his YouTube pages. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram and YouTube as well. Joyce Spencer Mintz and Shady, two Y's, 2K. All right, TikTok, Instagram. I want to thank you again tonight for just allowing us to come into your rooms today or your homes and share some things about what we do for love and what our perception of love is. And we hope that we help someone tonight to understand if you're in a situation and it's looking like some things that we just brought about, perhaps you need to check it. And, it is no harm and no foul to say, well, um, I realize this is not what I want, and back it up, because sometimes we jump in feet, head, feet, everything first, before we realize, we're not where we want to be. So if this is you and you find yourself in one of those relationships or situationships, or even, difficult with just learning how to love, keep on following this page, okay? And we hope that a word said here or something that you watch or stream will not only help you to be better, but do better. So until next Friday, this is Joyce Spencer Mintz coming to you live with Real Talk 100. And I hope you all have a safe and awesome weekend, and we'll talk with you next week. Good night, guest.
Good night, Granny.
Safe travels. Love you.
Love you too.